Biodiversity. Biodiversity hotspot is a biogeographic region with a significant reservoir of biodiversity and the threat from the humans. A biodiversity hotspot is an area which faces serious threat from human activities and supports unique biodiversity. To qualify as a biodiversity hotspot, a region must meet two strict criteria. A biodiversity hotspot must have at least 1,500 vascular plants as endemics or a high percentage of plant life. At least 30% of its original natural vegetation must be threatened. A biodiversity hotspot must meet two strict criteria. It must have at least 1,500 vascular plants as endemics or a high percentage of plant life. At least 30% or less of its original natural vegetation must be threatened. Over 90% of the area and the biodiversity hotspots have been lost. 25 species have become extinct in India's four hotspots. Four biodiversity hotspots in India are the Himalayas, including the entire Indian Himalayan region, the Indo-Burman region, including the entire northeast India, except the Assam and Andaman Nicobar Islands, Western Ghats, including the entire Western Ghats and Sri Lanka, Sunda Land, including Nicobar Group of Islands, and also Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, and Philippines. Biodiversity hotspot. Biodiversity hotspot is a biogeographic region in which there is a serious threat to the nature by human activity. To qualify as biodiversity hotspot, two important criteria must be met. At least At least 30% or less of its original natural vegetation must be threatened, and there must be 1,500 vascular plants as endemics or a high percentage of plant life. Environmental importance of biodiversity hotspots. Endemic variety. Due to complex interactions among life in more secluded biomes undisturbed by human activity, some of these species have evolved with amazing variations. Illegal wildlife trade. Wildlife trade poses the second biggest direct threat to the survival of species after habitat destruction. India is among the top 20 countries for illegal wildlife trade, and it's fast expanding. Airport sectors used by wildlife traffickers to smuggle high-end, high-value species and wildlife products. The annual value of illegal trade is over $20 billion as per UN estimates, and there is a 58% decline in birds and 83% decline in mammal abundance. Average animals traded or killed has increased by over a million animals per year. India is the fourth largest global crime as per United Nations Committee on Crimes. Over 31% of trafficked items were in checked luggage in India and 43% globally by air cargo. Biodiversity hotspot is a sensitive area in which there is a threat through the nature by the human activities. To qualify as a biodiversity hotspot, it must meet two important criteria. At least 30% of its original habitat must be threatened, and it should qualify as a significant habitat. The four important biodiversity hotspots in India: Himalayas, the Northeast, the Sundaland. Human-wildlife conflict refers to negative interactions between human and wildlife with undesirable consequences for both people and their resources and wildlife and their habitats. Elephant deaths each year. Human-elephant conflict results in over 500 human deaths, with at least 100 elephants dying. There is lots of agriculture, with the elephants damaging agriculture, and also wild herbivores damage between 15 to 50% of standing crops. Over 1,000 tigers have been killed in the country over the past 2 decades. There are instances of roadkill being recorded in 5 years. Reasons for rising human animal conflict include habitat loss, overpopulation in urban areas, leading to frequent encounters between wildlife and humans, disasters, increasing wildlife trade, and land use transformation. Dividend distribution tax. The dividend is a part of profit that the company shares with its shareholders. Dividend distribution tax provides for the dividend distribution to be levied on the company and the receiving shareholder. An additional tax is imposed on the shareholder receiving over 10 lakh rupees in dividend income in a financial year. Dividends shall be taxed only in the hands of the recipients at the applicable rate.